One food that has earned the title of nature's perfect package. It's the egg. For centuries, humans have relied on it as a complete nutrient-rich source of sustenance killer, but here's something many people overlook. An egg is not just breakfast, it's a blueprint for building life. Think about it. Inside that shell is everything required to develop an entirely new living creature: proteins, healthy fats, vitamins, minerals, and powerful antioxidants. All precisely balanced. For seniors killer, this becomes even more important. Why? Because as the years pass, your body's ability to repair itself slows down, muscles don't rebuild as easily, skin doesn't heal as quickly, energy doesn't bounce back as fast, but the nutrients in eggs can work like raw construction materials for your body's repair crews, giving them what they need to keep you strong, mobile, and mentally sharp. Now, here's where it gets fascinating and where many people unknowingly go wrong. You see, an egg's true power isn't just in what's inside its glove, but in how your body can access and use it. It's like having a chest of gold. But the key to open it depends on your digestion and nutrient absorption. And if you pair eggs with the wrong foods, you could be locking away that treasure without even realizing it. Imagine eating something incredibly healthy but only absorbing half of its benefits because of poor combinations on your plate. That's not just a waste of good nutrition, that's a missed opportunity to protect your health. The protein in eggs is special. It's what's called a complete protein, meaning it contains all the essential amino acids in the perfect ratio for your body to use. These amino acids are like workers that build and repair muscle, support your immune system, and even keep your brain chemistry balanced. Without enough high-quality protein, your body can't maintain lean muscle mass. And for seniors, that leads to a dangerous condition called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss. Once muscle is gone, it's incredibly hard to get back. But here's the hope. When you give your body the right tools, like the protein from eggs, you can slow, stop, or even reverse that muscle loss. Eggs also deliver choline, an underrated nutrient that acts like a maintenance crew for your brain cells. Choline supports the production of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter critical for memory and learning. That means you're morning a malal. It isn't just feeding your muscles, it's feeding your mind. And let's not forget lutein and zeaxanthin, clone antioxidants in the egg yolk that protect your eyes from age-related degeneration. Seniors often notice vision changes, but these compounds act like a shield, guarding your retina from damage caused by blue light and oxidative stress. The fats in eggs are another treasure. They're not the enemy. They're essential. Healthy fats provide a slow, steady release of energy, keeping you full and focused. They also help your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K without healthy fats. These vitamins can pass through your system unused, like nutrients just slipping through your fingers. Eggs give you that perfect fat-protein balance to stabilize your blood sugar, prevent energy crashes, and support hormonal health. Something many people don't realize affects their mood. Key warning about eggs and digestion, metabolism, and even sleep quality. Now, here's the hook that most people miss. None of this matters if you treat eggs like just another food and throw them on a plate with whatever is convenient. If you respect the egg as a nutrient powerhouse, you'll protect its potential. You'll make choices that allow your body to unlock every bit of its protein, vitamins, and antioxidants. Because at the end of the day, food is not just calories, it's information. It tells your body what to do. Eggs tell your body build, repair, strengthen, protect. But if you pair them with the wrong foods, the message gets scrambled and the benefits get muted. For seniors, that's more than just a nutritional misstep. It's a health risk at this stage in life. Every bite matters. Every nutrient you absorb counts toward your mobility, your independence, skill, your clarity of thought. You're not just eating to get through the day. You're eating to maintain the quality of your life. The egg can be your ally in that mission, but only if you treat it with the respect it deserves. Think of it as your daily investment in strength and vitality. Every time you crack that shell here, you're unlocking a chance to feed your body exactly what it's been craving for years: clean, complete nutrition that your cells instantly recognize and use. So, here's the challenge. The next time you make eggs, don't just see them as breakfast. See them as a strategic tool. Build your plate in a way that lets those nutrients do their job without interference. Let the egg work for you. And remember, your body isn't just surviving on what you eat. It's building itself from what you eat. If you give it the right materials, it will thank you with more energy, sharper thinking, stronger muscles, and a healthier, longer life. That's the power of respecting what's on your plate, and it starts with the humble egg. What you combine with your food matters far more than most people realize, and this is especially true with nutrient-dense foods like eggs. Many believe that as long as you're eating something healthy, you're doing your body a favor, but nutrition is not just about what you eat. It's about how your body processes what you eat together. The human digestive system works like a fine-tuned orchestra. Each food you consume requires specific enzymes, pH levels, and timing to break it down effectively. When you combine foods that have completely different digestion requirements, you create a kind of nutritional conflict in your body. So, this doesn't just slow digestion, it can interfere with nutrient absorption, cause digestive discomfort, and even lead to long-term metabolic stress. For seniors, this is a far more pressing issue than for younger people. As you age, your stomach acid levels often drop. Digestive enzymes become less efficient and your gut motility slows down. Killer, this means your body is already working harder to extract nutrients from food. If you throw in combinations that clash in digestion, it's like making an overworked team perform two jobs at once. The result is slower progress, more mistakes, and eventually burnout. So, when you eat eggs, which digest slowly due to their protein and fat content, and you combine them with foods that require an entirely different digestive pathway, you're creating unnecessary strain on your body. That strain can manifest as bloating, gas, heartburn, sluggishness, and more importantly, reduced nutrient uptake. Here's a hook to really think about. Imagine spending your hard-earned money on high-quality organic eggs, thinking you're making the best choice for your health, but the way you pair them on your plate causes your body to absorb only a fraction of their benefits. A scular. It's like paying for a full tank of gas, but driving away with only half the tank filled. You wouldn't tolerate that at a gas station, so why accept it from your meals? Let's go deeper. The macronutrient profile of eggs, high-quality protein paired with healthy fats, is designed to digest at a steady, moderate pace. This keeps blood food #1 you should never pair with eggs sugar stable, supports muscle maintenance, and provides sustained energy. But when you mix eggs with fast-digesting carbohydrates like refined bread, pastries, or sugary drinks, you disrupt that stable digestion. Your body suddenly has two fuel sources moving through at different speeds. The fast carbs rush into your bloodstream, spiking glucose and triggering a surge of insulin. Meanwhile, the eggs are still being broken down more slowly in the stomach. This mismatch doesn't just waste the egg's potential, it creates a hormonal and metabolic roller coaster that can leave you feeling tired, unfocused, and craving more sugar within hours. This is why food combining is so critical for seniors who want to maintain muscle mass, protect brain health, and keep inflammation low. When digestion is efficient and nutrient absorption is high, every cell in your body gets what it needs to repair and function optimally. But if you consistently create digestive conflicts, your body ends up in a constant state of catching up, never fully fueled, always compensating. Over time, this can contribute to deficiencies in key nutrients like vitamin D, B vitamins, omega-3s, killer, and antioxidants, all of which are present in eggs, but may never fully reach your tissues if digestion is compromised. Think about it this way. Your digestive system is like a carefully scheduled train station. Each type of food is a train that needs to be processed on a specific track at a specific speed. If two trains try to use the same track at different speeds, you get a traffic jam. And in your body, That traffic jam can mean fermentation of carbohydrates, torfaction of proteins, and a breeding ground for harmful gut bacteria. That's not just an uncomfortable feeling after eating. That's a sign that your body is struggling to deal with what you've put on your plate, and here's where it gets motivational. You have complete control over this. You decide how your body is going to respond to its meals by the combinations you choose. By simply learning which foods work well together and which don't, you can instantly improve digestion, energy levels, and nutrient absorption without changing the foods themselves. You could keep eating eggs every morning. But if you pair them with sautéed spinach, avocado, or lightly cooked vegetables instead of toast and juice, you'll unlock a completely different level of health benefits. It's empowering to realize that food combining is not about restriction. It's about strategy. You're not taking away pleasure from your meals, you're enhancing the payoff. Imagine eating in a way that leaves you energized instead of sluggish, satisfied instead of craving snacks, clear-minded instead of foggy. This is what happens when your digestion is working with you, not against you. Here's the part that most people overlook. Poor food combinations don't just impact your body in the moment, they influence your long-term health trajectory. For seniors, this can mean the difference between thriving in your later years and struggling with fatigue, muscle loss, digestive discomfort, and preventable deficiencies. Your body becomes a reflection of the small choices you make daily. And every time you choose to combine your foods wisely, you're giving your body the chance to perform at its best. So the next time you prepare eggs, take a moment to think about what's going on inside after you eat them. Are you giving them a supportive environment to break down and deliver their nutrients? Or are you setting up a digestive conflict that will blunt their benefits? The choice is yours, and the results will show not just in how you feel today, but in how you age over the coming years. Because when you understand that what you combine matters as much as what you eat, you stop eating on autopilot and start eating with intention, and that's when the real transformation begins. Processed meats may seem like the perfect partner for eggs. After all, bacon and sausage have been a breakfast staple for decades, but beneath that familiar taste lies a silent danger that most people underestimate. For seniors, the risks are even greater, and the impact on your long-term health can be far more severe than you might imagine. The problem isn't just the saturated fat or the salt. It's the chemical cocktail inside processed meats. A mix of nitrates, nitrites, preservatives, and flavor enhancers that were never meant to be part of your body's natural chemistry. When these compounds meet the high heat of cooking, especially in the same pan as your eggs, they can form harmful substances that trigger inflammation, oxidative stress, and long-term damage to your cardiovascular system. Here's the hook that should make you pause every time you combine eggs with processed meats. You may be creating an invisible chain reaction inside your body. It doesn't feel like much at first, maybe just a heavy feeling after breakfast or a little sluggishness. But over time, those invisible reactions add up. They can erode the health of your blood vessels, increase your risk of metabolic disease, and even contribute to certain cancers. For seniors, whose bodies are already more vulnerable to oxidative damage due to decades of wear and tear, this combination can speed up the aging process in ways that are hard to see until it's too late. Eggs on their own are a gift to your health. They're nutrient-rich, anti-inflammatory, and balanced in a way that supports muscle repair, brain health, and stable energy. But processed meats take that gift and attach a string of risks to it. The nitrates and nitrites used in these meats are preservatives designed to prevent bacterial growth and enhance color and flavor. In your body, however, these same compounds can convert into nitroamines, chemicals known to damage cells and disrupt DNA. When your cells are under constant assault from these compounds, your body has to divert its energy and resources to repair that damage instead of focusing on growth, regeneration, and maintaining your overall vitality. There's another layer to this that most people don't think about: inflammation. Chronicular, low-grade inflammation is one of the leading drivers of age-related diseases, from arthritis to heart disease to Alzheimer's. Processed meats are a potent inflammation trigger killer, and when you pair them with eggs, the very food that could be helping you fight inflammation, you're sending your body mixed signals. It's like stepping on the gas and the brakes at the same time. You're trying to heal and harm your body in the same meal. Over time, that tug of war drains your resilience, leaving you more vulnerable to fatigue, illness, and slower recovery from injuries or stress. The salt content in processed meats is another hidden trap, especially for seniors. A high sodium intake can spike blood pressure, strain your kidneys, and cause fluid retention, all of which can make you feel heavy, sluggish, and less mobile. Eggs, in contrast, are naturally low in sodium, making them a perfect foundation for a balanced meal. But when you add bacon or sausage, you take a heart-friendly food and turn it into a heart-stressing breakfast. For someone who's already managing blood pressure or cardiovascular concerns, this is a choice that can have immediate and long-term consequences. Here's a vivid way to picture it. Think of your body as a high-performance engine. Eggs are like premium fuel, clean, efficient, and powerful. Processed meats are like pouring in fuel laced with grit and chemicals. The engine will still run, but over time, that grit clogs the system, wears down the parts, and shortens the engine's life. And unlike a food #2 and surprising health impacts car, you can't just swap out your engine. You have to protect the one you have, and that means being strategic about what you pair with your best sources of nutrition. Some people justify the egg and bacon pairing by saying, "Killer, it's just a little bit, it can't hurt," but here's the truth. The effects of processed meats are cumulative. Each time you consume them, you're adding to an invisible burden inside your body. It might not show up after one breakfast or even 100, but eventually the constant drip of oxidative stress and inflammation takes its toll. The problem is that when the symptoms do appear, reduced stamina, more joint pain, brain fog, killer or lab results showing higher cholesterol and blood pressure, the damage is already well underway. It's also important to consider how high heat cooking plays into this equation. Frying processed meats in the same pan as your eggs can cause the fats from the meat to oxidize and coat the eggs with harmful byproducts. This means that even if your eggs start out clean and nutrient-rich, they can end up carrying compounds that promote cell damage once they've shared the pan with bacon grease or sausage fat. For seniors whose cells already face a natural decline in repair efficiency, this is like doubling the workload without providing the tools to get the job done. Now here's the empowering parchler. Avoiding processed meats with your eggs doesn't mean giving up flavor or satisfaction. In fact, replacing them with whole, unprocessed foods can elevate your breakfast and make you feel better almost immediately. Swap the bacon for avocado slices, which add creamy texture and heart-healthy fats. Replace sausage with sautéed mushrooms, spinach, or asparagus, foods that not only pair beautifully with eggs but also enhance their nutrient absorption. Instead of salt-laden cured meats, add fresh herbs like parsley, basil, or chives to boost flavor without harming your heart or arteries. Your breakfast should be a launching pad for your day, not a hidden trap that sets you back before you even leave the house. By removing processed meats from your egg meals, you're removing a daily source of oxidative stress, inflammation, and chemical exposure, and replacing it with choices that build resilience, protect your cells, and keep your energy steady. You're giving your body the respect it deserves and the tools it needs to stay strong well into your later years. The key takeaway is this: every time you combine eggs with processed meats, killer, you're diluting one of nature's best foods with some of the most harmful substances in our modern diet. You don't have to make that compromise. You can enjoy the richness, satisfaction, and health benefits of eggs without undermining them. All it takes is the decision to swap out the silent threats for supportive, nutrient-rich foods that truly work with your body, not against it. Killer, that's not deprivation, that's strategy, and when you think about it, protecting your health while enjoying your meals is the smartest combination of all. Refined carbohydrates may seem harmless when paired with eggs, but this is one of the most deceptive and damaging combinations you can make for your health. Especially as you age, many people are so accustomed to having toast, pancakes, muffins, or pastries alongside their eggs that they never stop to question what's actually happening inside the body after that meal. On the surface, it feels comforting and satisfying, but beneath that sense of familiarity lies a metabolic trap that can slowly drain your energy, weaken your muscles, and accelerate the aging process. Eggs are one of the most nutrient-dense, stable, and blood sugar-friendly foods you can eat. Refined carbs are the opposite, fast-burning, nutrient-poor, and blood sugar spiking when you combine them. The stable benefits of the eggs get overshadowed by the chaos of rapid glucose spikes and insulin surges. Here's the hook that should make you think twice. When you pair eggs with refined carbohydrates, you're essentially telling your body two completely different stories at the same time. The eggs say, let's build, repair, and stabilize. The refined carbs say, store fat, spike insulin, and burn through energy quickly. Your body has no choice but to respond to the louder signal, and in this case, that's the surge of sugar from the refined carbs. The steady, slow digesting benefits of the eggs get drowned out, and the result is an energy crash a few hours later, cravings that lead you to snack unnecessarily, and a metabolic environment that promotes fat storage rather than fat burning. For seniors, this combination is particularly harmful because insulin sensitivity naturally declines with age. That means your body is already less efficient at moving glucose from your blood into your cells. Each time you consume a high-carb food, your pancreas has to work harder to produce insulin, and over time, this can lead to insulin resistance, the gateway to type 2 diabetes, weight gain, and accelerated muscle loss. The very protein in eggs that should be helping you preserve lean mass gets underutilized because your body is too busy dealing with the sugar overload killer. This is why many older adults find themselves losing muscle and gaining fat at the same time. It's not just about eating enough protein, it's about avoiding the foods that block its full benefits. Let's talk about energy. Eggs give you a long-lasting, steady fuel source because they combine protein with healthy fats, which take time to digest and release energy slowly. This means you can go for hours without feeling hungry, and your brain gets a steady supply of nutrients to stay sharp. Refined carbs work the exact opposite way. They digest quickly, flood your bloodstream with glucose, and trigger a rush of insulin to clear that glucose out. Once it's cleared, your blood sugar drops, leaving you tired, irritable, and craving more carbs to bring it back up. This roller coaster can happen multiple times a day. If you keep repeating the cycle and over weeks and months killer, it drains your energy reserves and dulls your mental clarity. There's also the problem of nutrient density. Eggs are loaded with vitamins like B12, vitamin D, selenium killer, and choline, all crucial for healthy aging. Refined carbs are stripped of their natural fiber, vitamins, and minerals during processing. When you eat them together, you're combining a nutrient-rich food with a nutrient-depleted one, which means your body gets some benefits, but also gets burdened with empty calories that contribute nothing to your repair and recovery. Over time, the nutrient-to-calorie ratio of your meals declines, making it harder to meet your body's needs without overeating. Digestive health also takes a hit. Eggs digest at a steady pace, giving your stomach time to break down the proteins and fats thoroughly. Refined carbs rush through the system, and when these two speeds collide, digestion becomes less efficient. This mismatch can lead to bloating, discomfort, and poor absorption of the very nutrients you're trying to get from your eggs. For seniors who often experience slower digestion to begin with killer, this can be the difference between feeling light and energized after a meal or feeling heavy and sluggish for hours. Let's not overlook inflammation. Chronic killer low-grade inflammation is a silent driver of many age-related conditions from heart disease to Alzheimer's to arthritis. Refined carbs, especially those made from white flour and sugar, are highly inflammatory because they cause repeated spikes in blood sugar and insulin. These spikes trigger a cascade of inflammatory responses throughout the body. Eggs, on the other hand, have anti-inflammatory compounds like lutein and xanthan that protect your eyes and brain. But when you eat them alongside refined carbs, the anti-inflammatory benefits are diminished by the inflammatory effects of the carbs. You're essentially fighting yourself within the same meal. Now, here's the food #3 that could harm your body empowering pot killer. Avoiding refined carbs with eggs doesn't mean you have to give up enjoyable breakfasts. In fact, when you replace them with better options, you often feel more satisfied and energized than you ever did with toast or pancakes. Instead of bread, try pairing your eggs with sautéed vegetables, avocado, or a small serving of berries for natural sweetness without the sugar crash. These combinations work with your body, not against it, supporting stable blood sugar, optimal digestion, and maximum nutrient absorption. Think of it this way: every meal is a chance to either push your body toward vitality or pull it toward fatigue and decline. By combining eggs with refined carbs, you're making your body work harder to correct the metabolic chaos that comes with sugar spikes. By avoiding that combination, you're giving your body the green light to use every gram of protein, every micronutrient, and every drop of healthy fat from the eggs to build strength, protect your brain, and maintain stable energy. When you start making this shift, the changes can be surprisingly fast. Many people notice that within just a few days of removing refined carbs from their egg-based meals, their energy lasts longer. Their hunger is more controlled and their mental clarity improves over weeks and months. This translates into better body composition, stronger muscles, improved blood work, and a reduced risk of chronic disease. For seniors, this isn't just about feeling better today. It's about securing independence, mobility, and quality of life for years to come. So the next time you sit down to eggs, think about the message you want to send your body. Do you want to flood it with quick sugar that steals your energy and forces your pancreas into overdrive? Or do you want to give it a steady nutrient-rich fuel that keeps you strong, alert, and resilient? The choice may seem small, but the impact is massive. In the end, your health is built meal by meal, and avoiding refined carbs with your eggs is one of the simplest, most powerful ways to protect it. Refined carbohydrates may seem harmless when paired with eggs, but this is one of the most deceptive and damaging combinations you can make for your health, especially as you age. Many people are so accustomed to having toast, pancakes, muffins, or pastries alongside their eggs that they never stop to question what's actually happening inside the body after that meal. On the surface, it feels comforting and satisfying. But beneath that sense of familiarity lies a metabolic trap that can slowly drain your energy, weaken your muscles, and accelerate the aging process. Eggs are one of the most nutrient-dense, stable, and blood sugar-friendly foods you can eat. Refined carbs are the opposite: fast-burning, nutrient-poor, and blood sugar spiking. When you combine them killer, the stable benefits of the eggs get overshadowed by the chaos of rapid glucose spikes and insulin surges. Here's the hook that should make you think twice. When you pair eggs with refined carbohydrates, you're essentially telling your body two completely different stories at the same time. The eggs say, let's build, repair, and stabilize. The refined carbs say, store fat, spike insulin, and burn through energy quickly. Your body has no choice but to respond to the louder signal, and in this case, that's the surge of sugar from the refined carbs. The steady, slow-digesting benefits of the eggs get drowned out, and the result is an energy crash a few hours later. Cravings that lead you to snack unnecessarily, and a metabolic environment that promotes fat storage rather than fat burning. For seniors, this combination is particularly harmful because insulin sensitivity naturally declines with age. That means your body is already less efficient at moving glucose from your blood into your cells. Each time you consume a high-carb food, your pancreas has to work harder to produce insulin, and over time this can lead to insulin resistance, the gateway to type 2 diabetes, weight gain, and accelerated muscle loss. The very protein and eggs that should be helping you preserve lean mass gets underutilized because your body is too busy dealing with the sugar overload. This is why many older adults find themselves losing muscle and gaining fat at the same time. It's not just about eating enough protein. It's about avoiding the foods that block its full benefits. Let's talk about energy. Eggs give you a long-lasting, steady fuel source because they combine protein with healthy fats, which take time to digest and release energy slowly. This means you can go for hours without feeling hungry, and your brain gets a steady supply of nutrients to stay sharp. Refined carbs work the exact opposite way. They digest quickly, flood your bloodstream with glucose, and trigger a rush of insulin to clear that glucose out. Once it's cleared, your blood sugar drops, leaving you tired, irritable, and craving more carbs to bring it back up. This roller coaster can happen multiple times a day if you keep repeating the cycle and over weeks and months. It drains your energy reserves and dulls your mental clarity. There's also the problem of nutrient density. Eggs are loaded with vitamins like B12, vitamin D, selenium, and choline, all crucial for healthy aging. Refined carbs are stripped of their natural fiber, vitamins, and minerals during processing. When you eat them together, you're combining a nutrient-rich food with a nutrient-depleted one, which means your body gets some benefits, but also gets burdened with empty calories that contribute nothing to your repair and recovery. Over time, the nutrient-to-calorie ratio of your meals declines, making it harder to meet your body's needs without overeating. Digestive health also takes a hit. Eggs digest at a steady pace, giving your stomach time to break down the proteins and fats thoroughly. Refined carbs rush through the system, and when these two speeds collide, digestion becomes less efficient. This mismatch can lead to bloating, discomfort, and poor absorption of the very nutrients you're trying to get from your eggs. For seniors who often experience slower digestion to begin with, this can be the difference between feeling light and energized after a meal or feeling heavy and sluggish for hours. Let's not overlook inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation is a silent driver of many age-related conditions from heart disease to Alzheimer's to arthritis. Refined carbs, especially those made from white flour and sugar, are highly inflammatory because they cause repeated spikes in blood sugar and insulin. These spikes trigger a cascade of inflammatory responses throughout the body. Eggs, on the other hand, have anti-inflammatory compounds like lutein and zeaxanthin that protect your eyes and brain. But when you eat them alongside refined carbs, the anti-inflammatory benefits are diminished by the inflammatory effects of the carbs. You're essentially fighting yourself within the same meal. Now, here's the empowering part. Avoiding refined carbs with eggs doesn't mean you have to give up enjoyable breakfasts. In fact, when you replace them with better options, you often feel more satisfied and energized than you ever did with toast or pancakes. Instead of bread, try pairing your eggs with soda vegetables, avocado, or a small serving of berries for natural sweetness without the sugar crash. These combinations work with your body, not against it, supporting stable blood sugar, optimal digestion, and maximum nutrient absorption. Think of it this way. Every meal is a chance to either push your body toward vitality or pull it toward fatigue and decline. By combining eggs with refined carbs, you're making your body work harder to correct the metabolic chaos that comes how wrong combinations affect muscle and energy with sugar spikes. By avoiding that combination, you're giving your body the green light to use every gram of protein and every micronutrient and every drop of healthy fat from the eggs to build strength, protect your brain, and maintain stable energy. When you start making this shift, the changes can be surprisingly fast. Many people notice that within just a few days of removing refined carbs from their egg-based meals, their energy lasts longer, their hunger is more controlled, and their mental clarity improves over weeks and months. This translates into better body composition, stronger muscles, improved blood work, and a reduced risk of chronic disease. For seniors, this isn't just about feeling better today. It's about securing independence, mobility, and quality of life for years to come. So, the next time you sit down to eggs, think about the message you want to send your body. Do you want to flood it with quick sugar that steals your energy and forces your pancreas into overdrive? Or do you want to give it a steady killer nutrient-rich fuel that keeps you strong, alert, and resilient? The choice may seem small, but the impact is massive. In the end, your health is built meal by meal, and avoiding refined carbs with your eggs is one of the simplest, most powerful ways to protect it. Fruit juice has long been marketed as a health drink, full of vitamins and refreshing flavor. But when paired with eggs, it becomes one of the most misleading combinations you can put on your breakfast plate. Many people start their day with a plate of eggs and a glass of orange juice, believing they're making a balanced, nutrient-packed choice. The truth is, this pairing sets off a digestive conflict and a metabolic imbalance that robs your body of the full benefits of both foods. And for seniors, the consequences can be even more pronounced. Eggs are a slow-digesting, nutrient-dense food, while fruit juice is essentially a fast-absorbing sugar rush. When you mix the two, you're forcing your digestive system to juggle two very different speeds. And that clash can create problems you may not notice immediately, but will certainly feel over time. Here's the hook that should make you think differently. Imagine your stomach as a kitchen preparing two meals at once. One that needs slow, careful cooking, and one that's instant. The slow cooking dish, your eggs, is packed with high-quality protein and healthy fats requiring stomach acid enzymes and time to break down properly. The instant dish, your juice killer, is pure liquid sugar that races through digestion and hits your bloodstream in minutes. The result, the instant dish gets processed first, while the slow-cooking one sits and waits killer, often leading to fermentation in the gut, bloating, and poor nutrient absorption. For seniors who already face a decline in digestive efficiency, this mismatch can mean not getting the muscle, preserving protein, and brain-supporting nutrients you thought you were eating. Juice is also stripped of the fiber that whole fruit contains. Fiber slows the release of sugar into your bloodstream and helps feed beneficial gut bacteria. Without it, fruit juice becomes a concentrated sugar solution that spikes blood glucose and forces your pancreas to produce a surge of insulin to bring it back down. This rapid rise and fall in blood sugar can leave you feeling sluggish and hungry again soon after eating, even if your plate included protein-rich eggs. Over time, repeated glucose spikes contribute to insulin resistance, weight gain, and increased inflammation. For older adults, this is a dangerous path because it accelerates the very processes that lead to diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and cognitive decline. The impact on nutrient absorption is another hidden danger. Eggs are rich in fats, soluble vitamins like A, D, and K, as well as antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin. But these nutrients need healthy fats like those naturally present in eggs to be absorbed properly in the intestines. Killer, but when you flood your system with the high sugar content of juice at the same time, your body shifts its focus to managing the sugar rush killer. This shift can interfere with the optimal breakdown and uptake of those fat-soluble nutrients. The result? You may be eating a nutrient powerhouse in your eggs, but only absorbing a fraction of the benefits because the juice hijacks your digestion. There's also a chemical side to consider. The acidic nature of many fruit juices, especially orange juice, can alter the pH in your stomach temporarily, making it less efficient at breaking down protein. Protein digestion depends on a strong acidic environment to unravel the amino acid chains so they can be absorbed by diluting that acid with juice, particularly in older adults with already reduced stomach acid production. You make it harder for your body to fully process the protein in your eggs. Glare, this means less muscle repair, slower recovery, and a greater risk of sarcopenia over time. Then there's the inflammation factor. Chronic inflammation is one of the most significant drivers of age-related decline affecting joints, the cardiovascular system, and even brain health. High sugar intake, especially from liquids like juice that hit your system quickly, is a major trigger for inflammatory processes. While eggs contain anti-inflammatory compounds, the benefits can be drowned out by the inflammatory surge caused by juice. It's like trying to put out a fire with one hand while pouring gasoline on it with the other. For seniors, digestion and metabolism work best when meals are designed to be stable and predictable, not chaotic and conflicting. Eggs are an anchor food. They keep blood sugar stable, provide long-lasting energy, and support lean muscle mass. Juice is the opposite. It destabilizes blood sugar, offers no fiber, and digests in a way that competes with the slow, efficient breakdown of protein and fats. This is why, despite eating eggs for breakfast, many people still find themselves tired or craving more food within a couple of hours if they've paired them with juice. Replacing juice with better pairings doesn't mean losing flavor or satisfaction. In fact, when you swap juice for something like herbal tea, lemon water, or even a small serving of whole berries, you maintain flavor while avoiding the sugar surge. Whole berries, for example, offer antioxidants and fiber that work with your eggs rather than against them. This combination supports healthy digestion, maximizes nutrient absorption, and avoids the post-meal crash that juice can cause. It's also worth noting that starting your day with a sugar spike can set the tone for your entire day's appetite. A high morning blood sugar often leads to increased hunger and carb cravings later in the day, making it harder to stick to healthy choices. For older adults whose bodies process sugar less efficiently, this effect can be even more pronounced. Choosing to leave juice off your breakfast table is a small decision that can make a huge difference in stabilizing your appetite, improving your energy levels, and protecting your long-term health. Think of your meals as a message to your body. Eggs send the message to build, repair, and sustain. Juice sends the message to burn sugar quickly and store excess energy as fat. When you combine the two, you send a mixed message that creates inefficiency and imbalance. That by removing juice from the equation, you allow your breakfast to send one clear, powerful message to support my strength. Tips to eat eggs safely and maximize benefits: stabilize my metabolism and protect my health killer. The reality is that juice is not the health drink the marketing suggests, especially when consumed with protein-rich foods like eggs. It's not that eggs and juice are each harmful in isolation. It's the way they interact inside your body that causes the trouble. Once you understand this, it becomes easier to see that choosing water, tea, or even black coffee alongside your eggs is not a sacrifice. It's an upgrade. You're choosing clarity over confusion, stability over spikes, and long-term vitality over short-term taste. By making this shift, you set yourself up for a stronger, more energetic day, better digestion, and a healthier aging process. Every meal is an opportunity to either nourish your body or burden it. And when you take juice off the breakfast table, you remove one of the biggest hidden burdens from your mornings. It's a small change with a powerful ripple effect, one that your body will thank you for every single day. Your plate is your pharmacy, your fuel station, and your daily investment portfolio all rolled into one. Every bite you take is either pushing you toward vitality or pulling you closer to decline. And when it comes to eggs, one of the most nutrient-rich foods on the planet, the choice of what you eat alongside them determines whether they become a supercharger for your health or a wasted opportunity. Imagine each meal as a vote for your future self. Are you voting for strength, energy, and clarity, or are you unknowingly casting a vote for weakness, fatigue, and premature aging? The truth is, killer food combinations are more powerful than most people realize. It's not just about what you eat, it's about how the foods you choose interact inside your body. Eggs on their own deliver high-quality protein, healthy fats, and essential nutrients that support your muscles, your brain, your hormones, and even your immune system. But to unlock their full power, you need to pair them with foods that help digestion, stabilize blood sugar, and enhance nutrient absorption. Killer, think of it like building a championship team. You don't want your star player surrounded by unmotivated teammates who drag down the game. You want to pair eggs with other A-list foods that make them perform even better. For seniors especially, this is critical because your digestive efficiency isn't what it was at 25. Your stomach acid, enzymes, and bile production are naturally lower, which means you need to make every meal count for maximum nutrition. Picture this: two people eat the exact same eggs. One pairs them with refined carbs and juice, the other with sauteed spinach, avocado, and a sprinkle of herbs. The first person experiences a blood sugar spike, sluggish energy, and poor nutrient uptake. The second person gets steady energy, smooth digestion, and a nutrient boost that supports their muscles and brain for hours. Same eggs, different result, all because of the plate. This is where awareness changes everything. When you start thinking of food as medicine, you stop throwing random ingredients together just because they taste good or because you've always done it that way. You start building meals with intentional stacking the odds in your favor with every bite. Your plate can become an anti-inflammatory powerhouse when you include foods that work synergistically. For example, leafy greens like kale or spinach add vitamin K, magnesium, and antioxidants that help reduce inflammation while complementing the nutrient profile of eggs. Avocado adds healthy fats that slow digestion just enough to keep your blood sugar stable while improving the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K from the eggs. Even something as simple as a sprinkle of herbs like parsley or cilantro can provide detox-supporting compounds and fresh enzymes to aid digestion. These are small tweaks that compound into big benefits when done consistently over time. Now, let's get even more specific about why this matters more for seniors. As we age, we experience a gradual loss of muscle mass called sarcopenia, and it's one of the biggest drivers of weakness, poor mobility, and loss of independence. Eggs are an excellent tool to combat this because they're rich in leucine, an amino acid that triggers muscle protein synthesis. But here's the key: if your digestion is impaired or your meal combination causes nutrient interference, you lose part of that benefit. It's like buying a top-off-line supplement but flushing half of it down the drain. Pairing eggs with fiber-rich, their low glycemic vegetables not only helps balance blood sugar but also slows the release of amino acids, giving your body more time to use them effectively for repair and recovery. The same principle applies to brain health. The choline in eggs is essential for making acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that supports memory and focus. But if you pair eggs with foods that cause digestive stress or inflammation, you can blunt your body's ability to absorb and use choline effectively. On the flip side, combining eggs with omega-3 rich foods like smoked salmons without the processed junk or flax seeds can actually enhance cognitive benefits, supporting sharper thinking and reducing brain fog. This is why your plate is so much more than breakfast. It's a strategy. You're either giving your body the tools it needs to repair and thrive, or you're making it work twice as hard just to process what you've eaten. And the difference is often as simple as swapping a glass of juice for a cup of green tea, killer, or trading toast for sautéed vegetables. These aren't sacrifices, they're upgrades. They're small, intentional choices that turn an ordinary meal into a therapeutic one. It's also worth noting that many of the chronic issues seniors face, like joint pain, slow healing, and fatigue, are fueled by low-grade inflammation and nutrient deficiencies. When your plate is filled with foods that cooperate rather than compete, you reduce that inflammatory load and flood your body with bioavailable nutrients. The result: less stiffness, more energy, better digestion, and a stronger immune system. That's not hype. That's the biology of Final Advice and Action Plan for Seniors Food Synergy in Action. Think of every breakfast, lunch killer, and dinner as a financial investment in your health bank account. Junk combinations are like withdrawals. You feel the loss over time. Smart combinations are deposits. They grow with compound interest, showing up in your strength, mobility, mental clarity, and resilience years down the road. If you consistently choose nutrient-rich, digestion-friendly pairings with eggs, you're stacking daily wins that build a healthier, more capable you. So the next time you crack open those eggs, don't just think about cooking them. Think about who their teammates will be on your plate. Are you setting them up to deliver maximum performance, peckle, or are you unintentionally holding them back? That single choice repeated over days, weeks, and years will shape how you feel, move, and think for the rest of your life. Your plate isn't just food, it's your most powerful daily medicine, your most consistent habit, and your most underutilized tool for longevity. Use it wisely and it will serve you for decades to